The White House is cutting off $10 billion in social services and child care funding for blue states over concerns that the benefits were fraudulently sent to non-citizens. The move affects California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. President Trump saying on Truth Social that a fraud investigation into California has begun, writing California under Governor Gavin Newsom is more corrupt than Minnesota.
I'm sorry.
If that's possible. So, Taylor, California features prominently in this story. I'll come to you
so
first.
does your Minnesota.
Now, it does indeed.
So does New York.
I admit, New York. We're all implicated
We're all
here.
it.
Now, Taylor, this is Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a New York senator. She says the following. She says, to use the power of the government to harm the neediest Americans is immoral and indefensible. President Trump should not be doing this, in her view. How do you respond?
This is my version of Doge. So if Doge was sort of scaled back last year when Elon Musk left and went back to his businesses, this is the sort of second iteration of Doge. It is harmful, as Dagan has often pointed out, to continue sending money because it is wasteful and takes away from the people who really need it if it goes to fraudulent corporations or whatever we'll call them. So I like this because I think this is the great scam. I think where there's one cockroach, there's usually 100. Let's find them. And then this will be sort of our version of Doge that I hope is more lasting than the actual Doge program.
So I'm going to throw this to you, Dagan, and I'm just going to add a layer to it if you want to engage. Why do we spend federal money on child care services? Should that not be purely a function of the states if they choose to spend money that way?
Do you really want me to go there?
Well, I mean, if you're motivated to.
It's the children, Brian.
I don't think about the children. I do not think about the children.
Why did the federal taxpayer put $1,000 into investment accounts for children? It's the same reason. It's unnecessary spending, and we have this idea that money grows on trees when it comes to spending on the kiddos and having children, families, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, but this goes beyond that.
No,
This is
but it's
fraud.
why he asked me,
Right.
What was his question? Repeat it. Repeat it back to me. I know,
I'm not
because you
a
weren't
This is your
listening.
listening test, Charlie.
Because you weren't listening.
No, my point is.
No, I
we
want to
could sit
finish
here-
my point.
No, we could sit here and talk about the children all
Well,
day.
he asked me about child
I
care.
did ask her about
Okay,
that. Now let Dagan finish her
dot the
thought.
I.
Let her finish her thought, and then Charlie, I will come right to you.
Because it's the children. That's why. and the hacks who are in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party won't say no to anything if it's going to the children. And it's the
They would
same
be idiots
and it's
to
the
do so.
same logic that Kirsten Gillibrand uses. It's like, oh, it goes to the needy. Well, actually, it doesn't wind up going to the needy because it goes to illegal aliens and fraudsters, con artists, criminals, and grifters.
Well,
that's where the money goes.
The Republicans would be idiotic to make this about the children, to get in this children debate, saying, let's get in a philosophical debate. Should federal money be used for child care service, whatever? That's a loser every time. Where they were on really good ground is why Tim Walz is not running for re-election, is on fraud. And stick to fraud, because all these programs, they're on autopilot, and the money just keeps coming and coming. And when that happens, it is a recipe for fraud, and they're going to find it everywhere. They're going to find it in New York. They're going to find it, they already found it in your home state.
But that's the nature of federal money.
I know,
the nature
I
of
know,
federal money
but-
is
but-
autopilot money.
But
that
as
nobody pays
a
attention
political
to.
matter, I think you stick to the fraud, because the fraud stuff is really bad. I don't think the average American would say, okay, well, if there's not fraud involved, should my taxpayer money be going to help?
Right,
Yeah.
there's fraud in Medicare,
Right.
Medicaid,
Right.
Social
Right,
Security,
right. But there's a lot of fraud
SBA.
here.
If money is going out,
federal.
right? But if money is going out,
Right.
it is being stolen.
The American
And
people
we
are never
don't-
going to stop money going to children, okay? Now,
That's my
They're never going to do it, and maybe they shouldn't. I'm just saying.
We're sending
let
more
me, let
of
me
it.
finish what I'm going to say. Okay, what they should stop is fraud. Okay, and that once you stop the fraud, or at least clamp it down, obviously it's not that hard to find. Look what's going on in Minnesota. Like a kid with a camera found it last week. I mean, what's his name? Nick Shirley just walks in and says, there's no people here in this place, and this is funded with federal money. I think when you stick to that, this is a winning issue.
My point is, you will never stop the fraud. We don't stop the fraud. We need to stop the spending. That's the only way to fight fraud, is not spend the money in the first place.
Now, I would
spend
like
a lot of things that aren't fraudulent.
Charlie, I would like to invite Jackie into this melee.
I would just say what we've been saying for a while, which is that we don't have a revenue problem in this country. We've got an allocation problem. So when you're funding fraudulent programs and people are milking the system and taking advantage of it, I would side with you and say most people aren't going to want to defund the children, but the children who are deserving. You're going to have progressives on the left that will say, the illegal immigrants, all these people that are here should be getting this money. I'm not talking about them. That's extremist. But if we could, this reminds me a little bit of the Venezuela situation, which is so many people will stand back and just watch something happen and say, this is bigger than me or my administration. I can't fix this. And they'll just allow it to happen. I congratulate the president and his cabinet for saying, you know what, we're going to look into it. We're going to try to stop it. Somebody's got to try to do something. Most people pay their taxes pretty willingly in this country and don't have a problem with it. We're the richest country in the world.
I don't want to pay taxes.
And we help a lot of people. However, when you see the mismanagement of the money, that is what becomes infuriating.
And there's a huge degree of wokeness here. I mean, why didn't they look at the Somalis? I mean, let's be clear.
Because we know why. You'd be called racist.
You'd be called racist. I mean, it filters down throughout all this.
Look, Kristen Gillibrand went on to say in this statement, this has nothing to do with fraud and everything to do with political retribution that punishes poor children in need of assistance. So even if you want to keep it at the fraud level, they're going to tell you you're not cutting off funding because of fraud. You're cutting it off because you hate the children. All I'm saying is if Minnesota wants to provide health care or child care to their citizens, then Minnesota should pay for it, and California should do the same thing, and people in Arkansas shouldn't be sending their money to Minnesota to pay for child care. I don't know. Call me crazy.